everyone. Welcome to your weekly nutritional oracle card reading. My name is Erin. If you haven't been here before, hello. Thanks for joining me. And if you have joined me before, thanks for stopping by again. I hope that you've found some useful information that helps you do what you need to do as far as supporting your body and making some changes that help you to relieve some stress and improve your enjoyment of life. So today we're going to be doing the reading for November 30th through December 6th, 2020. Can't believe how far into the year we are. It seems like I just started these, but I guess we've been going for a little bit, so it's been a pretty good journey. I've had my ups and downs with it. I'll be honest, I have not been able to stick to every single thing that I get out of these readings that I try to implement myself. I have not had 100% success with that, and I wouldn't expect that. It's not really what this is for, is for perfection. It's just improvement and different things that I can use and you can use and that resonate with us, that make sense in our lives, because we're all going to be in different positions in our lives, right? So not meant for perfection, just meant to have little gleans of something that resonates, that just strikes you and catches your attention and allows you to implement it. And that's the magic, right? You hear it and it's just like, oh, okay, and it just seems so easy and fits so seamlessly into everything that it just is like it was meant to be, right? So hopefully you get a little bit of that. I have gotten some of those myself. Not a ton, I'll be honest, but enough to make me want to keep doing these readings. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started doing our readings. And I think let's start today how we almost always start, right? We're going to get the messages. I want to get the energy first of what's happening the week of November 30th through December 6th, 2020, to see what we need to know about the energy that will be present. I don't know why it's always upside down. Feeling the world. Okay. Isn't that the truth? That seems like a real kind of card, right? So feeling the world. So here we can already see feeling, right? It's going to be water energy, all right? It's going to be feelings, intimacy, connection, desires, okay? Being able to be fluid, have some fluidity. That's what we're going to be working with here as far as the energy center, right? Okay, so yeah, so here we'll have like feeling the world. We have like a bigger picture. She's over here, she's got the world in her hands, and she's able to have this larger and broader perspective of what's happening around all around, right? With others, with everybody. She's sensitive, and we're all going to be sensitive to those feelings of others. So if you are an empath, this could be a really trying time for you if you're not used to or don't know really how to manage having the energy of others into your body, right? Into your center. So it's going to be really important for us to realize, is the energy from us or is the energy from somebody else? Is it ours or not ours? Because that is going to be key in us being able to let go of what does not belong to us, so that we don't get overloaded and start feeling so much that it really hinders and stresses us out, right? We don't want to be stressed out. So, and this, this is reminding us, it's not just us, right? There's a whole world out there, and we are connected to everyone and everything through the energy that we have, right? We're all connected with energy. So when we're talking about the empathy part of things and being empathic and absorbing too much of other people's energy, this is when it's going to be key for us to really have a good grasp on what our boundaries are, our energetic boundaries. Who or what in our environment depletes that energy, and who or what in our environment raises the energy and the vibration up and lets us thrive, right? So a good, clear understanding of your boundaries is going to really be key for you to be able to get through the week without really having a hard time with, getting that overloaded on the empathetic energy that's going to be bombarding you, okay? You don't want it to bombard you. You want to be able to manage that. So that's a biggie. I'm glad that this card came out, because that's a great reminder. It's so easy to forget that how easily it is to absorb the energies of other people around us, and how it can drastically impact the way you feel, right? You wake up feeling fine in the morning, and then by the afternoon when you go out, you're grumpy or angry, or even the flip side, even happier than you were, right? Or excited or nervous, right? So it's really easy to forget that the energy we feel is not always ours, especially when we're incredibly sensitive and empathic, okay? And if you probably already know about the whole empathy and being an empath and those sorts of things. If you're watching these, if you don't, because you're brand new, you can take a deep dive on that on the internet. Just do an internet search for empath or empathic, being an empath, and you'll discover a whole bunch of wonderful things that you can explore, okay? So now I want to see what the moon energy is going to be like. Okay, here we go. What do you need to release? So we have the waning moon. Okay, so this card can let us know that there could be like emotional things that need to be released that we've been feeling, to remove resistance from situations so that we can take steps forward. And yes, all the experiences that we have in this lifetime are for a reason. So yes, the situation is what it is, but if there's a particular situation for any of you out there, and this card is resonating with you, this is signifying that whatever is causing you to feel like the situation is ready to let go. It's done what it can. It's reached the high note, and now it's time to let whatever remains go so you can move forward, okay? This is a time now to not feel like you have to keep a hold of anything. So if you're feeling like you really have to keep a hold of something and you're really trying hard to hold on to an emotion, a situation, whatever it may be for you, this card is signifying that it is time for you to release it. If you're feeling resistance to that, then you're done, right? It's over. Release the resistance, move forward, let whatever it is fall away, and know that it has done its part in your life, and now it's time to move on. And we have the same kind of colors, so it's going to be a very feely week, right? Very watery, lots of feelings going on. See what spirit animal we'll be working with this week of November. Let's get some information. Looks like we have flamingo spirit. All right. She popped right out of there. No question about that. And then, of course, she's in protection position. So flamingo spirit says, embrace the in-between. Embrace the in-between. So we're trying to let go of it, but we have a resistance to it because it's familiar, because sometimes it's scary to not know where we're going. So maybe if we're resisting it, it's because we just don't know where we're going yet. We just haven't figured out what the next step is, what lies beyond, what the bigger picture is. And that can be a scary situation. Like, that's not a comfortable feeling. But this is like, embrace that, right? This is calling for us to be in the present moment. Find out what's going on now. Don't worry, like, what happened in the past has already happened. And what happened in the future will most certainly happen in the future, right? What we need to know is what's happening to us now. Okay? Because like I said, those past lessons, they have done their part in our life, and now it's time to make some plans to figure out where to go next. And maybe it's time to call in spirit if we haven't been doing that very much lately, and ask, what do I need to do? What's my next step? What's in the highest good for me to know that will lead me into the next new experience of my life, okay? And this is not necessarily a bad place to be. Everybody has that in-between part of them, right, that they're trying to get through. Everybody has lessons that they're learning. And I haven't even got to hardly shuffle, okay? So we're going to do a couple of little fairy cards here just to see if there's any other messages, or if there's something that can maybe give us a little more insight, that wants to clarify anything. And then let's do one more. Ooh, yay. See, we're going to have some new beginnings, right? I like that. Okay, so protection. The fairies' protection are shielding you with a magical fairy ring of love and light. Practice psychic protection before embarking upon any spiritual work. So for some of you, maybe there's some very spiritual things that you've been going through. And I think for a lot of us, that's been happening. And maybe we have considered ourselves to be spiritual, our whole lives, and that's nothing new to us. But maybe for some of us, it's like really hitting home this last year with so much going on, right? That's not surprising. So this is saying to make sure that you are being grounded, that you are protecting yourself. Again, you can Google and do a search for ways that you can bring protection to yourself before you embark on any spiritual work. It could be just as easy as filling yourself with, divine light, letting go of any negative energy, breathing in love, letting go of anything that doesn't serve you at the time, right? It could be just as simple as that. So you can make it as simple or as elaborate as you want. And then we also have the Find Balance Fairy, and she's telling us, find the balance between your work, rest, and playtime, and you will have more energy, harmony, and productivity in your life. Take a power nap. Exactly. And especially with the holidays going on, I don't know, it's really different for me this year. We're kind of low-key on the holidays. We're mostly just trying to spend time with each other and time with whatever family we're able to, because we still have some restrictions where I live, and I'm sure a lot of other people have restrictions as well. So it's not the same, and we're still trying to have whatever kind of a normalcy that we can, and changing things that we need to change to, make it work for us. So I think that's part of finding the balance. It can be very stressful with the holidays coming up, kind of trying to figure out what you're going to do, where what restrictions are going to be there, what have you. I'm just happy that I get to still have my family with me, and we just kind of get a chill. We're just not going to make a huge deal. We're going to make more of a deal of knowing that we get to be together, and we're really grateful that we get to be together and really have some quality time with each other. And everybody that we're not able to, we're going to, just FaceTime or Skype if people still do that, whatever you got to do to do that. And I think rest is going to be really important. When those things are on your mind, it can really be a stressful situation. So getting plenty of rest and really making sure that you do have balance, to have the fun. Yeah, we got to work, but yes, we need to have fun too. because harmony is going to really be important at these times right now. And we're coming to the end of the year, and I know there's going to be a couple of eclipses coming up and all of that, so things are going to, you know, be stirred up a little bit, so that's going to be important. And then I love this card, New Beginnings. This fairy godmother heralds the joyous news of a new baby or the birth of a cherished idea. Protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. And I think that is so true. So I know some of you, okay, I do get a vibe here, get a feeling that some of you may be expecting a new baby, or maybe a grandbaby, or maybe a new niece or nephew, but I do get a vibe, of course, that, because, you know, there's people all over the place, and people have been staying at home a lot, and everybody's wanting to get pregnant now, right? So I do feel a vibe for some of you. Probably there is a new one coming into the family. And then, this mostly rings to me as new ideas for a project, a business venture. Even, I'm also feeling like even just kind of changing something about the home. Maybe moving. I think for some of you, I'm kind of feeling like that just started popping in my mind, like that maybe you're looking for a new place to live. The environment where you're at right now, you're just ready to for something new. It's not that it's necessarily bad, it's just time for you've been thinking about it a lot and you really want to just explore something else. Like there's something going on in a different area that you can't just like commute to, that you're being called to do or just want to do or have been exploring, that you're wanting to venture out to, and you actually physically have to move your household, right? So, and that, again, this is a general reading, so take what resonates with you, and I'm not telling everybody out there that you have to go move and do a new home and do a new state. I'm not saying that. Just for those of you who have been thinking it, really plan. Really plan, because you're going to want to make sure that you, and I think, and I'm also hearing that you should do some meditation and make sure that you have all your ducks in a row and that everything is taken care of, and you have thought about all of the things. Make a list. I'm here to make a list. Make a list and do some research. Okay. Because you're going to want, there's some things that haven't been tied up. Okay, that was a side note. Sorry, but I had to say it because that's what was there. So we're going to pull a self-care card, because it's right here. It's right, oh, two of them popped out. Okay. So we got plan a vacation, and I know we can't all like travel. I don't know what the restrictions are on traveling and stuff, and I'm sure it's different for everybody. But that planning a vacation doesn't necessarily mean that you have to like get on a plane and go somewhere. There's so many things you can do. Maybe it's just like you need to do something different. Plan a vacation and spend time with animals, and I think there's one more actually. Oh, clean your space. Okay, that's what I'm doing. We're like, whoosh. I don't know what happened, but we're like clearing out, and you know what? I'm hearing that for the move, for those of you who that is resonating with, that you've been thinking about doing a move and doing some research, start cleaning up. Get rid of what you don't need and start really tidying up your thing, because because then you're not going to be stressed out about stuff. This is going to be one thing off your plate is what I'm feeling, okay? That move keeps coming up. Who's moving? I don't think it's me. Not that I know of. Okay, so plan a vacation. And this is another this card also, this is another thing about planning. So I'm getting a lot of planning vibes. All right? So we're going to want to not be too complacent. having a plan of action this week is going to really serve us for whatever reason, be it you're moving, be it you're trying to figure out what you're going to be coming to next, what you're going to be releasing. I'm really feeling that we're going to need to, it could be spirit, God, universal, whatever you connect to that gives you that is your spiritual thing, whatever that is for you, that you need to really kind of be in that mode, okay? Because there's going to be some planning that you need to do, and the information that you get from that is going to be vital to what you're trying to, and meditating, okay, meditating. Okay, so this is talking about planning. It's talking about also, if you can't take a big trip right now, that you should look and see what it is you got to let go of. So that's another area of letting go. There's things that maybe you're holding on to, spending too much money on. Maybe, old subscriptions that you're paying for every month that you don't really know about, because sometimes when those automated things keep popping through your bank account, it's really easy to overlook them, right? It's really easy to not want to go and click that button to turn it off. I don't know why. For me, anyway. I don't know why. But anyways, this is about looking to see what you have, what you need to do to enable you to be able to, in order to get to take a big vacation or take some time off, even if you're not going anywhere per se, in order for you to be able to do those things, to take a look at what you have, what's going on in your life that's preventing you from doing that if you're not able to plan that out for yourself, okay? And remember, it's not, going somewhere. You can stay home and take a vacation and clean your house. No, clean your house first, because that's not part of a vacation. Maybe for some of you, and then that's okay. If the cleaning brings you joy, then I'm saying do it. Okay, and then we have spend time with animals, and I think this is also protection, right? Spirit animals that you see, if you've been dreaming about a particular animal, if you see particular animals crossing your path, if you already know what your spirit animal is and you're really into that, animals can offer actually a lot of protection. So protection is going to be a big thing, and I don't think it's in any way, shape, or form because something bad is going to happen to you. I think it has a lot to do with the empathic feelings that are going to be happening, the real feels that people are going to be having this week, and protection in knowing what you're going to need to do to make the plans, to let go of the things, and to move forward with whatever is being forward, whatever is coming to you that needs to be brought forward once you figure it out. So I'm feeling this is very much for protection, for grounding purposes, and for love, okay? Because pets are, they love you unconditionally, and sometimes we just really need that, especially when we're going to be feeling a lot of stuff this week, okay? All right. And if you can't go outside because it's caca outside right now, and even the animals don't want to come out, I get it. If you don't have an animal of your own, maybe somebody does have an animal that you are able to visit or something like that, or a shelter that you can go to if you're able to do that. That's always nice. And then clean your space. Cleaning your space is not only just when you clean your outside environment, it is amazing what it can do to clear the inside environment too. Decluttering on the outside helps to declutter the inside. It's amazing what falls into place when you just don't have to worry about a lot of clutter and things like that, right? And this really is talking about like deep cleaning, not just wiping off your counter after you make lunch, right? It's talking about cleaning cupboards, like really deep cleaning, like getting in there and getting some stuff done. And to also create a routine to help you keep everything organized. So sometimes, I know that a lot of people have been home a lot and not really going to work. We can work at home, but we're still really busy. Even though we're not always going out and being somewhere, we're still really busy. I mean, life is still happening. It's just happening where we live every day now, right? And that can be difficult to navigate. You really need to be organized, and I've learned this the hard way. I tell you what, you really have to be organized and have a schedule, and that includes cleaning. You know, it includes self-care. It includes doing the things that you need to do for yourself, but it also includes day-to-day things like cleaning and taking care of your feelings and making sure you're making time for your spiritual work if that's something that you're really working on, and planning for your projects. You know, all of those things. It's the balance, right? It's finding the balance. And that takes time and energy, and it takes planning. It takes a routine. So I think what that is, the planning thing that's really happening. I think there's some big plans that some people have to make, but I also think this planning card, the planning things that we're getting, the vibes that we're getting from this is to get daily routines into place. And we've talked about that quite a bit. And I think that it's just a reminder that yes, we are making routines, but there's still something missing. There's something we haven't done. There's somewhere else we need to take care of that, or maybe we haven't necessarily thought of everything, so we need to think about it a little bit more. All right. Okay, so that is awesome, and I think I have all the information I need. So I think we should zoom on into the nutritional advice and the food suggestions so that we can plan for our week and stay on top of what we need to stay on top of. Okay, so as far as food suggestion goes, obviously we're going to be dealing with water here, right? Because water is so the second chakra is where I'm feeling that we're going to be working at a lot, and the water element, the element of the sacral chakra is water. So it's going to be important for us to make sure we get plenty of water, the best quality water that we can get, and to be sure that if we're drinking a lot of diuretics and things of that nature, that we are making sure that we are replenishing that by drinking extra water, and not just thinking that those are going to keep us hydrated too, okay? Because those are going to be diuretics, so you're going to need to make sure that you're getting plenty of water. It's going to be really important to maintain that hydration, because what I'm feeling is like colon health, like that. The colon is where we're going to really kind of be concentrating on. For some of us, the reproductive health is going to be a thing, but for that area, I'm mostly feeling that it is basically to just eat a good variety of foods, and to have, I think I keep moving this, sorry, have a good variety of foods available in your diet. Make sure that you're getting enough variety so that you can get the spectrum of the vitamins and minerals that you need, and also to be sure that you do the cooked foods and the raw foods, not just to concentrate on one, which I know, and this, when it's kind of the autumn and getting into the winter and it's cold and stuff outside, we want to eat more cooked and warm foods, and there's a reason for that, right? So if you're feeling that you want to eat more of the cooked foods and stuff, there's probably a reason for that, and so that's okay. That's what you're trying to do here. Listen to your body, right? And I know I went on a side note here, but for the reproductive health, for the people who are looking for that and are thinking about getting pregnant, or know people who are thinking about it, or already pregnant, then it's going to be important to make sure that you get, just take out the foods, the processed foods, the fried foods, all the things that inhibit you from having a, excuse me, a good healthy diet. You're going to want to minimize as much as possible, right? So wherever you can take those out, the better. And I'm not saying you can't ever have a treat again or anything. Of course you can have fun. You still have to eat good food and have fun. It's just that it's an important time, obviously, to have your body be as healthy as possible so that you can nurture that little baby in there, right? Okay. So that was totally a side note, sorry. So what I'm feeling for the sacral chakra, the colon, is, and so I'm getting all because it's also, so the colon is also linked to the lungs as well. And so it's funny that all of a sudden I'm getting this like problem with the phlegm and stuff. Okay. All right. So the colon, I'm really feeling that we're going to be working on. And for that, and so in the colon is, yeah, it's elimination, but it's not just going poop, right? It's also you're releasing you release other things, emotions, you let go. It's a spiritual kind of thing too, for being having the proper working colon that eliminates properly, that can recycle the nutrients properly, because the colon it reabsorbs any nutrients that are left over in the waste, and also water, right? And it also makes from that waste important vitamins and minerals that our body needs to function, that our colon needs to function, so that it doesn't lose its tone, so that it can, not be inflamed, those types of things, so that we can have a healthy colon. So it is very important. It doesn't just make you go poop. It's very important to keep that in the best condition, so that you can also release any of the things that you're letting go. Like, are you constipated? Are you having a lot of gas? Is your poop not the way it used to be? It could be that if you're having things come up that you're having a hard time release emotion wise, maybe it's time to take a closer look at that. Okay. So, and obviously water's going to help a lot with that. You really need to have good water, or a proper amount of water. And there, I did do a hydration video, so I will link the hydration video for you also, so you can take a peek at that. It's got a lot of information in it that will be beneficial to you if you're looking at finding some new things. And also, there are lots of foods that have good hydration capabilities. They're very water rich. Celery, cabbage, oranges, those types of things. Watermelons even. So we can eat those. And it's going to be important to have, for the colon health, foods that are high in fiber, because the fiber is going to help bind everything together and eliminate things properly, right? We don't want to have anything too runny. We don't want it to be really hard to have a bowel movement or anything like that, right? We want it to, it's supposed to just do its thing, just go right out and everything's good. And also for the high fiber foods too, you're going to want to have prebiotics, okay? And basically you can get your prebiotics just by eating fermented foods. So things like sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha, if you find the good stuff. Make sure the kombucha is like real kombucha. Otherwise it's not going to do you any good. Yogurts, right? All those things can help you get the prebiotics that your colon really needs to be able to properly, to get the good bacteria, the good flora in there that we need for it to be able to do the functions it needs, as far as producing those vitamins and minerals that we need, and recycling the water and all of that. Since the intestine is also associated with the lungs, I think it's going to be important to do a moderate amount of exercise that really gets your heart rate up and stuff, and moves things through your system. And maybe, I know for me, I have been sitting so much, it's just, we're home so much that, and we're up and down, like, getting this and that, cleaning here and there, what we need to do, but we're not out and being really active the way that we used to be. And we can be, right? We can be, but the weather's also changed, and I live in the Pacific Northwest, and it's been blustery and cold and rainy, and we just haven't gone outside very much, But I think it's going to be important for us to do the things that we need to do to get the proper amount of exercise that we need to keep everything, because that's going to help eliminate the waste too, and get all the waste, out of your body through sweat, and through your digestive system, and through your colon, right? Because your colon is obviously part of your digestive system. So it's going to be important for us to get exercise. And since it's associated with the second chakra, the sacral chakra, the color is orange. So you can also incorporate orange foods, and like carrots and squash and things, those types of things, they have a lot of fiber in them too. So that's gonna be a double whammy there, right? You're gonna kill two birds with one stone there. And so sweet potatoes, carrots, pumpkins and squashes, those will all be great. And also foods that have good fat content in them. That's not and you've heard, if you've been here before, you've heard me talk about the trans fats and making sure that we're not eating nasty fried foods all the time, because those fats are horrible for us, and our body just, doesn't know what to do with them, so we end up storing them, and it just does a lot of damage to our bodies. So we want to make sure that we're eating good fats with things like olive oils, avocado oil. I love avocado oil. I use that a lot. Coconut oil has some good fatty acids in it. And salmon, that's great. That's a nice fatty fish that you can use. And let's see. So I wanted to make sure too that I gave you guys some ideas for recipes. So I made this really good pumpkin and squash. It was supposed to be a soup. So I was going to make a soup, and it was a savory. It wasn't like sweet or anything. It was savory. I put like onions and garlic, and I put clove and cinnamon, and some thyme. I believe I put some thyme in it. And so it was more savory than anything, but it was really good. And I ended up dumping it on some other vegetables that I had, and I think I had some rice with it too. And it was delicious. I really enjoyed it. And I saved, I'm glad I made a whole bunch of it, because I have some in the freezer, and I've been taking out because I really like having it. So you can make a more savory style pumpkin squash soup and use it not just as soup, but also for, like I said, like a pasta sauce. You could put it over rice, over pasta, or just over, like I said, other vegetables, and maybe like some hamburger or something like that. And speaking of the hamburger, I had some butternut squash that I made. Another orange food, right, which is great. I made so you know how people make like the butternut squash lasagnas because they don't want to use the noodles. So I just had the chunks of the butternut squash, and I just used that, and then just made like lasagna sauce. And it was more like kind of like a ragu, right? It was not thin. It was a nice thick sauce with meat, onions, garlic, and lots of spices, tomato sauce, things like that. I put all that in there and then mixed it all together. That was also delicious, and I just ate that as a meal with like a salad, because it's important to get your leafy greens too. Your leafy greens are going to have a lot of fiber and stuff in it for you also. So there's another one, and you can even do, like for a breakfast recipe, like you can do like pureed pumpkin and do like those overnight oats. You just put you put all of your stuff in the, like a mason jar, stick it in the fridge, and in the morning it's ready for you, and you got overnight oats, unless you want something hot in the morning, right? I know there's areas where it's not always cold, but if you wanted something cold in the morning, you could do the overnight oats, or you could just make you some oatmeal in the morning, put your pumpkin puree in there, and that would be delicious with some pecans and stuff, right? And then the soup too, that soup that I was telling you about, that's really good with some like pumpkin seeds over the top. Delicious. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it for the food suggestions and the nutritional advice that I have for you. So just remember, we're going to be working with the sacral chakra, and specifically the colon. And for those of you who are interested in having a baby, your reproductive system too, so just be conscious of that. So sacral chakra, the colon, and the lungs, so we're going to get exercise, right? And make sure you drink plenty of water, and get the prebiotics with the fermented foods, and throw some orange foods in there, since orange is the color of the second chakra, and that will also help. So if we can get good elimination and take great care of our colon, that will really go a long way to help us not only eliminate the waste from our body, but the emotions that we need to let go of as well that are hindering us from moving forward and growing, right? So we really want to take good care of that. All right, and then also a great thing to do if you're really having trouble with the releasing of emotions, like try journaling. Journaling really does a great amount of good for me. I mean, it's not for everybody, and you don't have you and you know when you do journaling, you can make it your own. You don't have to do it any specific way. You do it the way that you need to do it, that makes sense to you and gives you the outcome that you're looking for, right? It doesn't matter how everybody else is doing it. If you need to do it differently, then that's what you do. And then if you are still having problems and you need a third party person to help you beyond a friend or a family member, or, there's nothing wrong with getting in touch with a therapist and seeing if they can have a different perspective on things for you. If there's a situation that's really got you in a bind and you're just not able to figure out what the root cause is there's nothing wrong with getting some extra different perspective on that so you can release it and be on your way to more growth, right? All right. So I think that's it. If you liked what you saw, you can give me a thumbs up. Share it with your friends if you are so inclined and think that there's somebody out there that could benefit from this information. You can hit the subscribe button, ring the bell if you want to be notified when I come out with the new videos. But most importantly, just have a wonderful week, and I hope that you guys got some good information here, and I'm going to send you some loving and healing energy to help get you through the week. And I wish you all the very best, and I'll see you guys next week. All right. Bye now.